Hi, I'm Sam. I swear, I hear about romantic relationships and mental health and all the time, dude. But I keep hearing the word healthy through all of that, you know? It's like you gotta have a healthy relationship with your family, you gotta have a healthy romantic relationship with your spouse, your significant other, or whomever. But hit pause. Maybe it's just me. But honestly, how do healthy relationships even impact proper mental health? I mean, do they even? Wait. Can my own relationships be considered healthy? Is my mental state healthy? I think so. What does it even mean to have a healthy relationship? What does that even consist of? Well, who am I kidding? I'm already in a pretty picture-perfect relationship with my girlfriend, which I can't imagine ending anytime soon. Well, I guess we're back to the drawing board. This question of modern healthy relationships isn't really one that I know a lot about. So for the first step, I decided to ask around at my school to kind of find out what the general public thinks about healthy romantic relationships. Hello.
Hi, how about it going?
Yeah, can we start with your name?
My name is Katie.
I'm Ethan.
My name's Henry.
My name is Olivia Kolton. I am 15.
What would you consider to be a healthy relationship? What aspects do you think a relationship make it healthy?
I guess just like being happy with each other and just trying to improve yourself to just be good.
It's important to make sure that you appreciate your partner and they appreciate you through all the nuances of each other's lives.
There's a lot of factors that go into that. A healthy relationship would be like non-toxic, non-abusive, you know, the basic things.
Finding a good middle ground, the compromise.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, compromise. What do you mean? So
What you're okay with, what they're okay with, and like how to meet that middle ground. I've had friends before who have been in relationships where one person is really like texting all the time, wants to know what they're doing, wants to know how they're doing, and the other person is just kind of more like, I'll talk to you like every few hours and so.
Yeah.
And if you don't make that communication at the beginning, it comes with the, why aren't you answering me? Are you ignoring me? What did I do?
I want to do this, but they really don't want to, like today or now, or don't want me to do that for whatever reason. It's just finding a good middle ground of just like how important to me is this? How important is it like as a whole? Is it like gonna majorly affect like the relationship or like my life?
yeah.
It's just talking it out and finding a good like middle ground with things.
You mentioned toxicity. So what would be considered not toxic? Actually, you know what? What would be considered toxic? Because I hear that term a lot, and I feel like I don't know the meaning
I
of it.
think essentially manipulation, just doing things that you shouldn't be doing. I don't know if I'm exactly getting that right, but that's just the way that I would say that.
I believe communication is one of the most important things in a relationship. It's one of the things that has kept mine alive for such a large amount of time.
Yeah.
But I think a further step from that is honesty and understanding. And I don't mean honesty as in I don't lie, honesty as in being open about your life.
Communication,
Talking to each other, being honest.
being able to communicate well. Like recently, that's been something I've been trying to work on is communicating things more.
Communication is just the main one. I feel like if you don't have a good communication, the whole foundation is just like,
Specifically in school, and if you had any reason to date, why would you date, and what do you think is the point of dating?
Just like having that partnership with somebody else and it being like more than a friendship.
Originally, I dated because I thought that's what you had to do, but I had some really difficult times in my relationship when I had thought that, and over time my philosophy changed. I date because I genuinely enjoy who I'm with.
I mean, at this age, obviously most people aren't dating to get married or to commit long term. I mean, some people are, but it doesn't last most of the time. When you're with these younger generations, it's more, half of it is experience, you know, to be able to have that high school romance, to go to proms together, go to dances, hang out in cars, go out to eat, all that shabam and shajazz or whatever. The other half of it is it's a way for kids to kind of like express themselves and find someone who matches them, I guess, in a way. Because if you're going out to date someone, you obviously like the person. I mean, I'm not saying that teens don't have any sort of attraction, obviously. They do. So you like the person, you go out to date them. It's to get to know them better, to have a friend, a companion.
Having a good time, like, it's the whole point of a relationship, to get to know someone, have a good time with them.
Too many teens these days are dating for social status, or because they feel like they have to because this is the one person who understands them, or because they have no other options and this one person asked them out.
Young people do go in relationships for a lot of weird, different reasons, whether it be same interest, you want to marry the person, or you're honestly just bored. Like, that's some relationships now are just people being bored.
I'd say people date for half the experience and half the love.
Needless to say, I ended up learning some pretty interesting information. But there's still a deeper level to this concept that I want to explore more thoroughly. So off I go to the internet to learn as much as I can about relationships and mental health as a whole. The next question on my mind is how a healthy relationship actually plays out. So I ended up reaching out to 2 married men to find out what a healthy relationship actually looks like in practice.
Hello, my name is Brad Ramsey. I'm 51 years old. I've been married to April Ramsey for 26 years. We were married in 1998.
Oh yeah, you've been married for quite some time. I'd like to say you have, a bit of experience in this area. What do you think, looking at like your relationship, what do you think makes a healthy relationship?
Well, there's a lot of things. I think, well, for me, my faith in God has helped us the most. We're both Christians, and it helps us as far as patience with one another and, forgiving, the ability to forgive whenever we do something that hurts the other. And that helps us to get past problems that are bound to, or that do occur in long-term, well, any relationship, but definitely long-term relationships. Communication and letting each other know what your expectations are, not in the way of demands, but as far as, I can't read her mind, she can't read my mind. And so if I don't let her know how something should be or shouldn't be, or what I like or don't like, if she doesn't know, and then she does something that upsets me, well, I don't really have any right to get upset if she didn't know.
So coming from that, how has your view of like dating and relationships and marriage, how has your view of that changed now that you've been married for so long? Like when
I think my idea as a young man, I thought, well, there's one girl, right?
Yeah.
All these Disney's movies, all these love movies, all these, 16 Candles. I don't know, you probably don't remember that movie, but there's always the girl and the guy, right? And it's just one person, and life's gonna be great, and you'll be happy if you can just meet that person, and make it work, and then you'll live happily ever after. I used to think that, but now it's like, well, I think that happiness can be an illusion. Not that you can't be happy, but this continual happy feeling of I think it's impossible. I think it's more of a contentment. As you get older, you learn to accept people's personality quirks or just things that may irritate you. You just say, oh, that's how they are, and it's not only just me speaking to my wife, but also for her living with and dealing with me too, because I have my own issues. And I think that as I've gotten older, is that being more accepting of people's personalities or people's imperfections. Nobody's perfect, and so you just have to accept. Another thing that I've learned as being married or getting older is that it's less about me. I still have naturally selfish tendencies. I think most people do, but it's getting easier, I guess, to suppress those a little bit and to focus more on my wife and kids.
Now, having been through it, what do you think the point of dating is? Like, you get in a relationship, what's the end goal?
I believe that, marriage is the end goal of dating, and that, a family is a result of that. I think the purpose of dating is to find someone that you're if you want to get married, to find someone that you're compatible with, that you think would be a good partner for you and you for them, and that you can go through life and make it.
My name's Aaron Kellar. I've been married for 9 years, going on 10, and I'm a pastor of youth and family ministry.
And do you have any kids?
I have 2 kids. Yeah.
So you've been married 9 years. Wow.
I know, right?
Yeah. Focusing on your own experience being married for, almost 10 years now. What do you think in that? What do you think makes it a healthy relationship?
Yeah.
What do you think? Yeah.
It's a good question. And I think my relationship, I would say with my wife, I think it's been healthy of sorts, but it's been a growing health.
Yeah.
And so I think it started in a good place, in a good way, but I think it's been a growing healthiness. There's a lot of factors involved. I think with a healthy relationship, a big thing would be that both people have a shared values and purpose. And so that some of that gets to like, why are we even in a relationship? What's our goal in life, like beyond a relationship? Because if a relationship is your goal and that's like the end thing that you're looking to for happiness, satisfaction, that's where I feel like the relationship becomes it kind of caves in on itself and people become very selfish. And so you have to have something outside of yourself.
For you, what is the purpose of it? Why do people date? What do you think is the purpose?
Yeah.
What should be the purpose?
Yeah. That's my perspective would be, if it's not for marriage, I think that's the whole point of romantic relationships. I think that's the context for romantic relationships. I think outside of marriage, it doesn't make a lot of sense. I would say just be good friends with somebody. You could say, well, I'm dating just to fill the gap of loneliness or something like that. But the truth is, if that's what you're using the relationship for, it's going to become a very selfish thing. And so that's, like, again, it kind of goes back to that greater purpose. And so, yeah, I think you should have shared values, shared perspective on why you're dating. I would say for marriage and even beyond that, I think there's it's a deep, and what is marriage? And that's where, again, see, you also have to define that. And so I think there's a lot of levels to it.
Yeah. What kind of advice, if any, would you give to people who want to date, they want a girlfriend, or boyfriend, or whether they just want to be dating or whether they want to be married? What kind of advice would you give to people who want to be dating?
Yeah, and I should caveat. I think dating is for the purpose of marriage. That doesn't mean that every dating relationship is going to lead to marriage. Yeah. I think that's kind of the point of dating, is getting to know somebody a little bit. Someone once told me, don't marry, but I think it would apply to dating, but don't pursue somebody that you can live with for the rest of your life. Find somebody that you can't live without. And just all that to say, it's a little cliche, but to say, don't settle your standards. I think people are more valuable than sometimes they give themselves credit for, and they put themselves into relationships that are just not healthy. And I would just say, slow play it. Like, find somebody who you can be friends with. A true friend is not just somebody to get along with, but it's somebody who loves you at all times. Yeah. And I think that would be kind of what I would be looking for, is somebody who's going to care about you in your best moments, and the best part of you, but also in the darkest, most broken parts of you as well.
This has been really helpful. Thank you for taking the time to talk to me.
Yeah. Thanks, Sammy. Yeah, it's good to see you, man.
So, looking back on everything, I've realized that relationships aren't some sort of scripted events with a cheat code to perfection. No, relationships are organic in a sense. They're different from every pair of individuals, and there's no one right way of how to go about it. Even with that, though, we still can lay out a few guidelines that can promote a more healthy connection, and that including thorough communication. I think in everything we've learned, communication is probably one of the most important things in talking to your partner, which also goes hand in hand with things like honesty and openness and trust, which is also something that's built up over the course of your relationship. Humility is another really important thing as well, being able to admit that you're not always right and putting the other person above yourself. And of course, loyalty in a relationship is incredibly crucial, understanding that this relationship is a priority and something that you should be committed to better it in the future. Though these few simple points are only the tip of the iceberg, and quite a bit more, almost everything else about a relationship is discovered as you go along with it. And even with this, having a healthy relationship can still impact your mental health through feeling connected, having a sense of purpose, enhancing your ability to problem solve because you're working with other people. You know, us as humans strive for that connection, and it's something that we're constantly working to improve. And striving for this kind of healthy relationship will then go to improve, one, how you deal with other people and their emotions, as well as dealing with your own emotions and your own mental health. But now, there's only one more thing left to do.
Hey, hi. Look, I know it's been really hard for us recently, but I've taken some time. I've done a lot of research, talked to a lot of people to try and better myself, and I think I'm at a point now where I might be worth reconsidering. You know, and I've done so much, and I think now I'm ready, and I think it's time where we can finally rekindle our relationship.